A fabulous, fantastic, and fascinating day to everyone. Today, we will sweep fly high and discover the Mayans' historical background, famous and popular artists, their role in the society, and some of their famous artwork and architecture.
Hey there! We are your reporters for today. Get your creative juices flowing for this exciting collaborative discussion.
Our agenda for today's discussion is to impart the historical background of the Mayan civilization and also to acknowledge the architectures and artists of Mayan. The secret is to live fully, to embrace every instant of existence, beautiful and ugly, blissful and painful, and remember to dance between the worlds, for that is your heritage as a child of the infinite oneness. Historical background.
The Mayan Empire, centered in the tropical lowlands of what is now Guatemala, reached the peak of its power and influence around the 6th century AD. The Maya excelled at agriculture, pottery, writing, calendars, and mathematics, and left behind an astonishing amount of impressive architecture and symbolic artwork. Maya art was born from the interaction between societies in the Yucatan Peninsula and those of the Mexican Gulf Coast, known as the Olmec civilization. In the first millennium BC, Maya artists began to sculpt in stone, stucco, wood, bone, shell, and fired clay.
Famous and popular artists.
Here are the most famous artists in Mayan's period. We have Andres Corochi. Corochi was known as naive painter and he is one of the most important artists in Mayan's history of art. Why? Well, in part because of his influences. He was a member of Kachigel people and his paintings are very beautiful vocations of daily life in the local area. His style was simple but deeply powerful. Our country recognized his reputations and lasting contributions to Mayan's art with the prestigious Order of Quetzal. Second is Juan Sisay. Today, the area around Lake Atitlan is known for its artistic bohemian feels, and one of the area's most famous sons is an internationally renowned by Mayan painters. Juan Sisay says that colorful paintings of Mayan's life are inspired by his own upbringing. He was born into a poor family and worked as a laborer before becoming artist. His painting careers happened almost by accident. He saw a visitors to Atitlan painting and asked if he could try the paints. He sold the resulting painting for $1 and resold he could become a commercially successful artist. Sisay was entirely self-taught and as his reputations grew, so did the price of his paintings. He was also awarded with Order of the Quetzal by own government. Sisay was entirely self-taught and as his reputations grew, so did the price of his painting. He was also awarded with the Order of the Quetzal by our government. Third is Efren Resinos. As we mentioned before, murals have always been an important element of Mayan's art. And so, it is possible to draw a direct line from the ancient wall paintings in sites such as San Bartolo to the creation of the most famous name in Guatemalan art.
Architectures and art of Mayans. Primary features. Maya art included stone, wood, clay, and stucco sculptures and decorations. Exquisite carvings and jewelry were made of wood, obsidian, jade, bone, shells, and stone. Action scenes were portrayed on slipped ceramic vessels, murals, and reliefs. Artists made moldings, statues, portraits, and rulers, and more. Tikal Temple. Tikal Temple is one of the most famous artwork of Mayan, located at Tikal National Park. Tikal Temple is a Mesoamerican pyramid at the Maya archaeological site of Tikal in the Petén, Department of Northern Guatemala. The temple was built in the late Classic period in a style reminiscent of the early Classic. Tripod bowl. Ceramic vessels nourished in both life and death. They held food and drink for daily life, but also offerings in dedicatory catches and burials, which range from the simplest graves to the richest royal tombs. All Maya pottery was built by hand, as opposed to on a pottery's wheel. Relief column. The projection of forms or figures from a flat ground so that they are partly or wholly free of it. A relief is a wall-mounted sculpture in which the three-dimensional elements are raised from a flat base. Maya theme artifacts. The Maya of the Classic period developed a sophisticated artistic tradition, producing sculpted stone, painted ceramics, clay figurines, and screenfold bark books of drawings and hieroglyphic writing. Deer effigy vessels. Deer effigy vessels began to appear in the late Classic period and prevailed until the time of Spanish conquest. Generally, they were not drinking vessels because they would be fragile and uncomfortable, but to place liquids such as water, pulque, cocoa, or some other drink as an offering. El Castillo. El Castillo is located in Chichen Itza. El Castillo in Spanish means the castle. Looms at the center of Chichen Itza, a 79-foot pyramid of stone, also known as the Pyramid of Kulkulkan. The structure embodies Mayan myth along with natural astronomical cycles. The phenomenon of El Castillo is famous for occurs twice each year, at the spring and fall equinoxes. Maya male costume figure. Naturalistic Jaina figures often present detailed portraits of individuals. Men and women are delicately modeled in the poses, gestures, and costumes of those who ruled the Yucatan Peninsula at the height of Classic Maya civilization, providing insight into their roles, status, and concerns. Thank you for listening.